Hello and welcome. Take a deep breath, relax your mind, and get ready to listen. This is your English listening practice. Speak slowly in your mind and try to understand every word. Let's begin. Today, I want to tell you about cooking a meal. Not just any meal, but pizza. It was my first time making pizza at home. I felt excited, but also a little unsure. Cooking something new can feel like a challenge, but I wanted to try. It was a quiet afternoon. I had some free time, and I felt a little hungry. Instead of ordering food, I decided to cook. I thought about different options. Then, the idea came to my mind. Pizza. Warm, cheesy, and delicious. I smiled. Yes, I would make pizza. First, I checked the ingredients. I opened my kitchen cabinet and my fridge. I had flour, yeast, salt, and oil. Good. For the topping, I had tomatoes, onions, and some cheese. It was simple, but enough. I washed my hands and started. Making the dough was the first step. I took a bowl and added flour. Then I added a little salt. After that, I mixed yeast with warm water. I waited for a few minutes. Slowly, the yeast started to activate. Small bubbles appeared. That was a good sign. I poured the mixture into the flour. Then I added a little oil. Now it was time to mix everything. At first, the dough felt sticky, but I continued. I used my hands and started kneading. Press, fold, and repeat. Slowly, the dough became soft, smooth, and elastic. It felt nice to touch. After some time, it was ready. I covered the bowl with a cloth. Now, I had to wait. The dough needed time to rise. Patience is important in cooking. While waiting, I prepared the sauce. I cut some tomatoes and put them in a pan. I added a little oil and some salt. Then I cooked them slowly. The tomatoes became soft. I mixed them well until they turned into a thick sauce. The smell was fresh and warm. Next, I cut the vegetables. Onions, thin slices. A few more toppings. Simple but colorful. After about an hour, I checked the dough. It had grown bigger, soft and light. That made me happy. I placed the dough on the table. Then I gently pressed it. I shaped it into a circle. It was not perfect, but it looked good enough. Now came the fun part. I spread the sauce on the dough, evenly from the center to the edges. Then I added the toppings, onions, tomatoes, and finally, cheese. Lots of cheese. I like my pizza cheesy. Before baking, I looked at it for a moment. It looked beautiful. Simple, but made with care. I preheated the oven. Then I carefully placed the pizza inside. Now, I had to wait again. Waiting is part of the process. As the pizza baked, the smell filled the kitchen. Warm, rich, and delicious. It made me even more hungry. I stayed near the oven, checking from time to time. After some minutes, the cheese started to melt. The edges became golden. It looked ready. I carefully took the pizza out. It was hot and fresh. I placed it on the table. For a moment, I just looked at it. I made this. That feeling was special. I cut the pizza into slices. Then I took one piece. It was still warm. I took a bite. The taste was amazing. Soft bread, rich sauce, melted cheese. Everything came together perfectly. It was not like restaurant pizza. But it was mine, made at home with simple ingredients. That made it even better. I sat down and enjoyed my meal slowly. No hurry. Just good food and a calm moment. Cooking can be more than just making food. It can be relaxing, creative, and satisfying. Even if it is your first time, you can try. Mistakes are okay. Learning takes time, but the experience is always valuable. That day, I learned something new, and I enjoyed every step, from mixing the dough to taking the first bite. It was a simple activity, but it brought joy. Now, I feel more confident. Maybe next time I will try a different recipe or add new toppings. Cooking is a journey, step by step. Now, take a deep breath. You did a great job listening. If you didn't understand everything, that is okay. Listen again. Practice every day, and your English will improve. Thank you for listening. See you in the next practice.